Believe me, I'm still confused, and I don't get why I'm so important in this story. I mean, it's an old story that I thought was past and buried, but apparently not. So when my daughter Luna, she isn't mine biologically because she is the daughter of my best friend who died of cancer and her mother disappeared out of nowhere and never showed up. Was 3, I was with an old ex of mine, Kendra. After only 1 month of our relationship, I caught Kendra cheating on me with a friend of mine. I broke up immediately with her and my relationship with my friend. I blocked their numbers and every contact on social media. But to me, that was it, and I thought that it was the end, but it wasn't. For years, they tried to make peace, but I always refused rudely and aggressively, caused that pain. And anger was always there, but now this thing just made me think with what kind of weirdo I was for a month. At that time, she was one of those who believed in karma, luck, and all this mystic stuff. But I never realized how much. Well, a few hours ago, I received a text from Kendra inviting me to their wedding. It would be in 2 weeks. According to her, it was a way to throw the past back and be a better person. But I just refused, saying, absolutely damn not, and go to hell. I genuinely thought that my reply was clear and loud enough, but apparently it wasn't, and started a whole circus of drama and ridiculousness that is nonsense to me. Apparently in the last months they were always fighting, so they went to search for help from one of those future readers. And according to him, it was all because of the bad karma I sent them for their betrayal. So if I don't forgive them and come to their wedding, it would be a disaster. In these 2 hours, my phone is blowing up with texts and calls from Kendra, my ex-friend, and even their parents. They are all trying to convince me to forgive them and to go to their wedding. I'm currently replying to all their texts with just, go heck yourself and go to hell. Of course, I never forgave them and never will, so they can insist how much they want, but I will never do it. They even try the pathetic move to make me feel guilty by saying that if I don't do what they want, the disaster of the wedding and their marriage would be only my fault with my bad karma and malicious influences. I might sound cruel, but I'm actually enjoying all this circus because their excuses are just so nonsense that is hilarious. They didn't try with my parents or our friends because they know what happened and they would never help them. But like always, I had a talk with my grandma. She is my official psychologist and suggester, but she said that since it is important for them, I have to just accept and go. So this thing would end here. To her, I must fake to forgive them, but go to the wedding anyway, so all this pathetic story ends, but I don't know. So here I'm asking you for your opinion. Am I the a-hole for refusing to be part of this nonsense? Or should I just accept it so it would end once and forever, even if I would never forgive them for real? Edit. Guys, some of you are evil with your ideas. I like it. I'm actually divided between not going or going and applying some of your advices. Anyway, some of you pointed out why I'm so involved with this story, and the reason is because the friend that betrayed me was one of my closest friends, and it's not about Kendra's cheating, but because my friend betrayed me so easily like I was a stranger. This is what hurts the most. It's my friend's betrayal that hurts the most instead of the cheating. But don't worry that I will update you in the next few days because something big happened, and I still don't know how to proceed. So thank you all for your advice and evil plans. I wonder why I didn't sign up for Reddit before because you guys would have made my life easier years ago. Top comments commenter 1. It would be ludicrous to attend this wedding. Not the a-hole. Commenter 2. Not the a-hole. They are trying for you to go so everyone sees you there and assumes that you approve of them screwing you over with their lies and cheating. They don't want you there as guests. Guests get a real invitation to a wedding, not a text message, with RSVP, and it's usually months before the time. Even the most backyard wedding that is not a shotgun wedding has the invitations with quite some time before. Commenter 3. Absolutely do not go. They're feeling guilty, and they're trying to make you the bad guy to avoid full accountability. Not your monkeys, not your circus, or not your chair, not your problem if millennial update 3 days later. Not an English speaker. Hey people, here I'm again with a major update. Today must have been a day focused on relaxation, calm, peace, and fun. But it was all the opposite. Yesterday I had an outburst and I decided that today I had to relax and calm down before doing something stupid or worse. So yesterday night at the last minute I organized a day in the mountains for skiing, relaxing, and clear my thoughts, but I ended up in the hospital. See, this early morning when I parked my car at the hotel, I fainted unconscious in the parking. And it's the second time in 3 days, so something is wrong with me and I'm currently at the hospital seeking for answers. But this isn't all, unfortunately. 30 minutes ago, I was with my grandparents, who came to see me because they knew what happened. And while we were there talking, guess who showed up out of the blue? My ex-girlfriend and my ex-friend. They tried to bluff the real reason why they were there, but when I saw them in the hall, I already knew why. They went in person trying to convince me to go to their wedding because of the bad karma and all that BS I told you in the last post. But this time, I acted quickly and smartly. After like 3 minutes while they were here asking me how I was, if it was something big and all this classic BS, I interrupted them and finally told them that yes, I will go to their wedding. Their expressions changed in like 3 seconds, and they tried to hug me and thank me, but I aggressively told them to back off and stay back because I need to rest and to don't have any stress. After that, I told them to leave and make me know where they were organizing the wedding, the exact day and hour. My ex told me and I took note, and then they left. My grandparents watched me like I was a ghost and asked me if I for real was about to forgive them, but I told them, of course not. And they asked me why the hell I accepted. So I told them that I accepted my job's promotion, and since it was an emergency, they needed me in the new country in 8 days. At this point, they understood, and my grandpa gave me a pat on the shoulder telling me, "You damn smart ass," with a smile. And after a bit more of talking, they left. So yes, their wedding is in 10 days, but me, Luna, and our new puppy will be in another country in 4 hours by plane, by distance. So of course I wouldn't attend, and some of you guys gave me advices on a letter to send them. And I took the courage and will take ideas from your last post's evil ideas. So right now, I'm with Luna and our puppy, and believe me, I wish I could be there at their wedding, just to see their reactions, because it must be something special. I will update you in a few weeks when I would be in my new country and when I had news from their wedding. Can't wait for it. Top comments commenter. 1. Bro played 4D chess while they were still trying to read the rulebook. Absolute legend move. Commenter 2. Looks like karma came in a different form for you. Hope you feel better soon and enjoy your well-deserved vacation, far away from all the drama. Also, good job on standing your ground and not letting them manipulate you with their bad karma excuse. Commenter 3. Best of luck, and I hope they get to the bottom of your illness and it isn't something serious. I would also be asking myself who I knew that knew enough to tell them I was in hospital so they could corner you, as that person isn't your friend, and the FT they knew so quickly it must be someone close to you. So make sure not to tell others about you leaving even close friends and family, as someone's not got your best interest at heart. They saw you in hospital. I'll have a chance to help the people who betrayed you. Best of luck and keep safe and avoid driving until you know why you've been fainting. New update. Not an English speaker. Hey people, this isn't the update that you are looking for, and in fact, I said small update. I'm feeling way better. And finally, I know what I had, and now everything is under control, so my health is okay. The only health that makes me worry is that of my mother. Apparently cancer is for real back, and her conditions are getting worse and worse. I talked with the doctors, and according to them, the situation isn't exactly good and they fear the worst. But apart this today, I had a last visit to my grandparents. I will for sure miss my grandma's food and her very particular ideas about small portions. I hanged out with my friends one last time and I gave a last look at my house. I decided to rent it. I might be too emotional, but doing all this was way more difficult than I had imagined, and a few times I got emotional. So right now, I'm at the airport waiting for my flight with Luna and our sleeping puppy. I decided to anticipate just for one day because I wanted to be prepared and to start to organize and control my new neighborhood, at least see where I work, see what I have around, and to have a tour of my new zone to see if everything is exactly how I organized in such a short time. You know, it's very difficult to say goodbye to your old life. Like I always say, I have always organized and schemed every part of my life, and saying goodbye to my routine to start a new one is more difficult than I could imagine. but I know I'm doing this for me, for my job, and for my future. This morning after the shower, I was thinking about all of this. I sat there on my old bed for the last time to think at all of this. If I made the right choice, how this day would go. What if I made a terrible mistake and Luna saw me there thinking and decided to literally jump on me and yell, "Daddy, tomorrow we will all be at our new home. Aren't you excited like me?" I tickled her and we fighted a bit, but I told her that of course I was excited. And with her at my side, nothing could scare me. This little witch always knows how to handle me and make my thoughts go away. So yes, a bit hesitant and scared, but I'm ready for whatever will happen. My ex and my ex-friend never saw where I live and never showed up at my house, so our only contacts are through my phone. According to them, they're very, very excited for their wedding and always says to me to be punctual. Of course, I will be, don't worry. And don't worry, guys, I will update you all when my rats will have news. Or like we say in my country, the rats are waiting for feast, and I'm too. Ahaha.
So this is my alternate account for privacy reasons. I am a 35-year-old female, and I live with my 30-year-old boyfriend at his parents' house, paying them rent for us to have 2 rooms to ourselves. We have been together since May 2017, about 7 years and 7 months. To preface this, I am not asking for advice on how to deal with the abuse. That's not a problem. I'm handling it. The issue is, how do I leave without destroying his life? Some of the main characters here, generic or placeholder names, are Mom, Dad, the main boyfriend Carter, in a 7 years and 7 month long relationship, and another boy Lee that I really like who I've been secretly seeing for 3 months. This will be a very long post, but I really need to tell the full story. Some context first. My family is a bunch of narcissistic abusers who have treated me very poorly as long as I can remember. My incredibly narcissistic and psychopathic mother behaved as if constant emotional abuse of me was the most delightful pastime in history. I was frequently underfed and got screamed at if I ate as much as my sisters. Nothing I did was good enough. I was insulted and publicly ridiculed constantly. Everything that went wrong was my fault. I grew up in constant fear, stuck in survival mode at all times. My 4 sisters got showered in love and treated like royalty. They all got help learning to drive, paying for college, university, getting jobs, buying a house. I was denied all this support they got, constantly told I don't deserve it. Worse than denying it to me, it ensured I got none of it. Prior to starting this relationship, I was living alone in a small town of 6,000 people, only 30 miles away from my hometown of about 1,300 people. My mom made it her life's mission to ensure everyone she could knew how awful I was. She started this when I was an infant and never stopped. When I tried getting a job, I found that all potential employers already knew me and didn't want to trust me. I failed college because she forced me to take a medication that made me zone out, disassociate, and lose time. Under threat of total disownment if I didn't. I was originally put on it while still a minor, with her lying to my doctors. My dad helped me move into an income-based apartment on disability in that nearby town, where I found the same problem with employers. She had been going to that town 3 times a week since I was a baby. Both of them liked the town, and going often is why we picked it for me. Unrelated to her, my landlord was stealing power. The shared power in my building, the lights, main hall heaters and air conditioner, the water heater and softener, the washer and dryer, and all the outdoor outlets which kept being used to charge electric cars were connected to my electric meter. I got massive bills every month on a fixed income. My every attempt to resolve this got ignored. My landlord denied it. Lawyers wouldn't touch it without me paying up first. My family didn't believe me and ignored it. After 8 years, I was paying almost everything on credit, approaching $20,000 total on 30% annual percentage rate cards. My minimum payments were getting close to my monthly disability check amount. Now to the relationship. I met this boy Carter online after I was getting bullied. He defended me and comforted me. We talked for several months and he developed feelings for me. I started to feel the same. We were making constant calls. He lived in Las Vegas. Carter decided he wanted to visit me, so I agreed. He drove 1,500 miles to see me. We spent a week together and it was great. We started a relationship officially then. We traveled back and forth by plane for many months, with his family paying for my side of it. After fully understanding my dire situation, he and his parents couldn't stand leaving me to face imminent homelessness, so they paid to move me across the country with Carter and his parents. My family disowned me. They do not talk to me, don't check on me, don't respond to my communications, and they'll attack me on social media. I loved him before this was even an idea. I was eager to be with him. So I agreed. I said my goodbyes for all that was worth, and we loaded everything we could into a rented moving truck and left. By this time, with so many years of no work history, Vegas employers were hesitant to trust me, and no college or university would take a chance on me, given how I failed before. I eventually got a steady job in security after 2 years. Now 5+ years later, I'm still at the same job, thriving, highly respected by my workers and bosses. Carter, however, had crippling anxiety and dropped out of college and couldn't hold a job. It was my plan to inspire him with my own stability and continuous therapy to encourage him to get the help he needed while I did what I could to support him. The relationship was amazing for the first couple years. But shortly after I got the job, Carter started changing. He stopped touching me, stopped kissing me, stopped being physically intimate with me at all. He began getting cold. Suddenly, a lot of things I did that were normal became a problem. He started insulting me, subtle and passive-aggressive at first, more blatant as time went on. Eventually, it came to the point nothing I did was good enough. He'd publicly humiliate me in stores by giving constant harsh orders and insulting me over every little thing that didn't fit his constantly shifting standards. Any kind of pleading for him to stop just made him call me out for being too loud and attracting unwanted attention. Oblivious to how people can clearly hear his loud insults and condescending orders, he started interrupting me constantly, assuming he knew what I was going to say, and it was always a worst case, degrading assumption that painted me as either a monster or painfully incompetent. If I tried to correct him, I got screamed at. He started insulting my appearance, my hygiene, and my debts, which I had no choice in. I couldn't go a day without him calling me ugly, disgusting, irresponsible. He would say how my family treated me was my fault, and it was my behavior that made me earn it. He said everything that went wrong in the town I first moved to were all either lies or me being delusional. Gaslighting me on everything became a pastime for him. My past trauma was suddenly something I'm lying about that internet people talked me into just to hurt him. If I started crying, he would just get angrier and angrier, screaming even harder for me to stop crying. He called it manipulative abuse whenever I did cry. He eventually made me so distraught, I attempted self-end, and I spent a week in a psychiatric facility. I was forced to be on good terms with him because only he could get me out as my family refused and I had no friends. They wouldn't let me leave if no one claimed me. There were occasional minor incidents of violence, a punch here and there, often breaking my glasses or hurting my arm. Then there was one time a year ago, I actually got a full-on beating. Bruises all over my back and bottom, welts on my head. I didn't report it because since I had nowhere to go and no support, it'd mean homelessness. He's not been violent since. He's afraid I will report it, but he's kept up the rest of the verbal abuse. He did start saying that he no longer loved me and wanted me gone. Often during tantrums, but he refuses to allow me to leave any other way than going back to my abusive family. I would rather die than go back to them. He knows this. He won't allow me to find a new relationship or just a roommate. I can't handle being homeless. After the beating, I tried using dating apps. I had some promising leads, but I got heavily ghosted when I was honest about my situation. I was terrified of looking for just a roommate. As I was struggling with far massive debt, I couldn't afford my own place, or even splitting rent with a roommate, or trust someone who viewed me as nothing but an ATM. He found out I was trying to date. I expected more violence, but instead I broke down in tears and apologized. He started giving me everything I always wanted and begged me not to leave him. I thought he might have improved and learned his lesson, and I could forgive him. Would it shock you to learn this lasted barely 2 months before he resumed his previous non-stop verbal abuse? Because he did. 7 months ago his car died, and I bought a new one, in my name, using my excellent credit. My years of hard work paying that debt down got me, and I got a raise that's helping me pay down it and the rest of my debt down fast. I have 2 years left going paycheck to paycheck until it's all gone. About 3 months ago, he finally got a job that he didn't quit. He's getting therapy for his anxiety, but not his abusive tendencies. He is convinced I'm the monster and he's the victim. I've got to endure it every day. Suffering, in fear, my anxiety maxed out. He is continuing to say he doesn't love me anymore and he wants me gone, but only back to my family. He considers me dating to be cheating. He monitors my coming and going with a camera that's supposed to be for porch thieves. If I leave to go to get food or something, he throws a tantrum accusing me of cheating. As no sane person would consider this a valid relationship, and I've been trapped here, unable to leave, for 5 years. And he keeps saying he doesn't love me and wants me gone. I decided to try dating anyway 5 months ago. I met Lee this way. I was super honest in my profile of the situation I was in. He started talking to me and sympathizing with me as he also had an abusive relationship where he was subjected to violence. He's the kindest, sweetest guy ever. We have so much more in common than me and Carter ever did. I managed to sneak out around the camera a few times. Carter was at work to see Lee, and we hit it off strong. We have so much chemistry. I've definitely fallen in love with Lee and out of love with Carter. I have been 100% honest with Lee. There's nothing about what's going on he doesn't know. He really wants to help me move out and live with him instead. Carter keeps talking about a girl at his work in ways where he obviously has a crush on her, including not wanting her to see me when I drop him off or pick him up. But he's also grilling me about how I am not allowed to date anyone and I have to go to my family, abandoning my great job. I want to leave peacefully to be with Lee. For several reasons. I want to keep all my stuff, including some irreplaceable heirlooms from my late grandfather. I still love his family, as they saved me from a horrible fate and treated me like their own daughter when my own family disowned me. They have never done me wrong and have faced great hardship lately. Ruining their son would be devastating. I also want Carter to be happy and successful, just not with me. I'm done. I want out. Carter's dad knows about our problems, what Carter has been doing. He knows about Lee and has offered to help me see him, and he wants to help me move out to be with Lee. I need to know if I've been doing this right. Carter seems to be slowly coming around to understand I'm never going back to my family and I'm staying in Vegas. But he's resisting it. Force and assertiveness don't work well on him. I barely got him to accept me, locking my phone. He says he doesn't want me in a new relationship here in Vegas because he's afraid me and my new boyfriend would get revenge on him and hurt him for what he's done. I have tried explaining I am not like that. I'd appreciate any advice on how to proceed. I don't want him in trouble. I don't want him arrested. I just want to convince him to let me openly date this guy Lee and work on moving in with him, freeing up Carter to date that girl himself, and peacefully leave after the logistics get sorted. Dealing with the abuse is not an issue. I'm getting all the help I need there from Lee. It's been so hard, so heartbreaking. But Lee is healing me, and I need to be with him to move on. Thanks for reading my messed up life story.